Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to you all. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all able to take advantage of this opportunity we all have here to be with each other, to be with ourselves, to be true to ourselves, to be completely true to ourselves. And when I say be true to ourselves, am I talking about the body and mind? Or am I talking about that deeper essence? That we already somehow, somewhere know ourselves to be. Remember, all these teachings that come forth from me, from my mouth, from books, from scriptures, etc., etc. They are just articulating verbally, in words, that which you already know, somehow, already in your heart, non-verbally. Maybe some of you have had the experience of reading something, and when you're reading that something, it's describing something you already knew, but you hadn't put it into words. And you go, oh yes, there's a recognition. Oh yes, I knew that, but I never formulated it that way. I'd never been able to express it that way. As we go deeper, deeper into ourselves, which is to say, as ignorance is swept away and away more and more, it becomes more like that. What do I mean? Initially, the teachings may be something that somebody else external to you is pointing out to you. And later it becomes, oh, that same external teacher or external teaching is describing something you already know. Just expressing verbally what you already know in your heart. What gets in the way of this heart knowledge, this essential knowledge that is already fully present, what gets in the way of that are all the beliefs and concepts of thought and the mind, all the ideas you may have about spirituality. Some of your ideas may be more accurate, some might be less accurate, and they might change over time as you develop, as you learn, as you experience more. But these ideas, these concepts, these constructs, these beliefs, these thoughts, spiritual or otherwise, these seemingly obstruct this heart knowledge that is already ours, that we already have. That is, this knowledge that we have is our true nature. It's not that we know something, it's our very being is this knowledge, knowingness, beingness. And this knowledge is all pervading. It's everywhere, everything. It is everything. It pervades all objective phenomena. And yet it is not any of these individual objective things, objective phenomena. Everything you see around you, everything you can sense with any of your senses, 5 senses in the mind, everything you can see, touch, taste, feel, hear, and all the mental sensations, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the awakenings, the states of consciousness, all these things, all these phenomenal arisings, gross or coarse phenomenal arisings and the subtle phenomenal arisings, they're all consciousness. They all appear in your consciousness, and their substance is consciousness. They're made of consciousness. So, experientially, our lives are just lived in consciousness. All we know is consciousness, appearing in and manifesting in different forms through our 5 senses and our mind. We can say 6 senses if we include the mind as like a 6th sense. If we ignore all the appearances, all the nama rupa, the name and form, nama, name, rupa, form, we ignore all the nama rupa, we ignore the specific attributes and characteristics of all the phenomena that arise. What are these specific characteristics? Anything to do with the 5 senses or the mind. Color, shape, size, texture, how something sounds, feeling, sensations, thinking. We ignore all the attributes that these phenomena have. Then all there is this consciousness. If ignoring all phenomena, we kind of see through the phenomena, and all we see is the consciousness that's there. Instead of seeing the nama rupa and focusing on the nama rupa, on the name and form, we just see the underlying consciousness, the underlying chit. Chit means consciousness. Underlying knowingness. Chit means consciousness or knowingness. Sat chit, the beingness. Everywhere we look is just beingness, just consciousness. Sat chit. If we ignore nama rupa and just see Sat chit everywhere, it's our own beingness, our own consciousness. Our own beingness is pervading everywhere. Our own consciousness is pervading everywhere. Then we are starting to demolish some of this ignorance, this duality. Do you see? Now, when I say ignore, what do I mean? We don't have to bury our head in the sands. We don't have to shut off our senses initially. We can allow everything in, not suppressing anything. We can allow everything to come as it comes. Everything to arise as it arises. No suppression. But whatever arises, we see the phenomena, whatever it is that's arising, the objects, the feelings, the thoughts, but we see through them and only see the consciousness. Instead of focusing on the nama rupa, we allow ourselves to see with the eye of wisdom. Instead of looking only with our physical eyes, the sense organs, the eyes and all the other sense organs, instead of perceiving only with the sense organs, we perceive with the eye of wisdom. The sense organs see as is their nature. So what I mean by that is the eyes see visual things. They see images, pictures. They see visual things. The ears, they see, in quotes, or hear, they perceive auditory phenomena. So each sense organ perceives as per its nature, and someone with all the other sense organs. And the eyes cannot see sounds, and the ears cannot see visual phenomena. They see according to their nature. In the same way, the eye of wisdom only sees consciousness everywhere. When you see with your eye of wisdom, you just see consciousness. The senses still see what they see, but you just see Sat Chit, beingness, consciousness everywhere. If you see with the eye of wisdom, as opposed to the eye of the sense organs, then the body and mind are just a mere appearance within you. And the body and mind are just consciousness appearing. Thoughts are just consciousness appearing. And rather than focusing on the content, on the nama rupa, on the content of the thought, on the shape of the objects, on the texture of the objects, on what something feels like and what something sounds like, we allow our focus to go to the substratum, the self, the Sat-Chit, the underlying consciousness, the permeating consciousness that permeates everything. Yeah. Guru Ramana put this very nicely. Guru Ramana, blessings to him, gratitude to him, put this very nicely. He said, it's like writing on a piece of paper. Instead of focusing on the writing, notice the paper. Now, when we hear that, we can say you've got the paper, the white paper, and you've got the writing. Around the writing, you can see the paper. Isn't it? But the writing itself, the black ink, let's say, which the letters are composed of, is also the paper. You can see through the ink And you can just see the paper there too. So through nama rupa, which is the writing, through the name and form, you can just perceive the consciousness. Take nama rupa to be illusory appearances, dreamlike appearance, unreal. Just see paper. Just see the paper. Just see your beingness everywhere. Feel your beingness everywhere. Allow everything to come to you. No suppression. Everything's allowed here. Because it doesn't harm you. Why would you push or pull anything? Nothing can add to you. So why there's nothing that you desire. And nothing can be taken away from you. So there's no need to be afraid and push anything away, suppress anything. Do you get that? Because nothing can be added to you, you feel whole, complete, full of love in your heart. Now we're talking about Ananda, by the way. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Because you're full of love in your heart. Because you've been praying to Guru. Because you've opened your heart in love to Guru. Love is in your heart. Ananda is within you. There's no need to desire anything. You don't say, oh, I want the sports car. I want this. I want that. Because you have Ananda. You are whole. You are full. So the desire isn't there. And at the same time, you see everything as a magical illusory display of consciousness. Maya. Leela. Leela means the divine play. Maya means the divine illusion. The same thing. And you realize none of these images, appearances, have any solidity. They're all empty. Shunya, empty. Shunya means empty. All empty. They're all without any intrinsic substance. All there is paper, consciousness. Sat, chit. None of this can harm you, essentially. The body-mind can be harmed, but not you. The body-mind is mortal, not you. The body-mind can do as it pleases. It can be happy, not you though. It can be sad, not you. It can be fearful, it can be anxious. It doesn't affect you. The Ananda that is in your heart is beyond pleasure, pain, fear, anxiety, despair, hope. Allow the body to feel all those things. Body can feel happy, anxious, desperate, doubtful, gleeful, appreciative. But what you are is the consciousness beyond it all. Full, whole, complete. So no need to suppress. Just allow Guru's love in, God's love in, love of self in. And you realize this love that comes in, and the beingness that you are, and the consciousness that is everywhere is one. It's just one. Sat, Chit, Ananda. And Nama Rupa is Maya. if you're paying attention to the content, that's called thinking. If you're allowing the thoughts to come in, but you're not latching onto the content, you're allowing them to come through you. Just like light can stream through a pane of glass. You know? Imagine a pane of glass. Imagine that's you. And all the light is just streaming through it. Rays of sunlight streaming through the pane of glass. That's like the phenomenal appearances just flowing through you. Let them come. You are one with them and ever unaffected. No suppression. Suppression is fear, by the way. It's pushing away. It's aversion. It's egoic. And the body and mind will naturally have its preferences and fears and desires. You allow the body and mind just to function naturally. And you will see over time they will find their equilibrium and their wisdom, their harmony. Maybe need a bit, the body and mind might need a bit of guidance sometimes to find its feet. It can be a bit unsettling, and there might be some things going on for the body and mind. And on the relative level, we can help with that. There are things we can do differently, things we can do more skillfully. So whether the eyes are open or whether the eyes are closed, it makes no difference to self-inquiry. When the eyes are closed, there is only the self, just beingness, when the eyes are closed. When the eyes are open, there's only the self, just beingness. What does it matter if phenomena appear or do not appear? This is a teaching. There's more I can say. There's much more I can say about this. But I'm going to stop there for now.